them. And Charles is going to do the Pledge of Allegiance tonight, so we'll give Mark time to get us all on mute, or we can put ourselves on mute and let the flag come up, and then we'll let Charles lead us.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I do this. Okay, Charles, hold 1 second.
Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I think, is Reverend Varga here?
Mayor, I'm searching the attendees' names, and I don't. If the Reverend is here, if he could raise his hand on the, I'll let him in. I don't see. I see a couple names I'm not familiar with. I'm not certain who they are.
I think Reverend Varga's first name is Frank. I'm not seeing him.
Yeah, I don't see anybody in there.
We don't have the Reverend. I will do it, Mayor.
Okay, Tony, I remembered you told me that you were ready, and I think you're going to have to sub for us tonight. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support. As we begin this meeting, help us to engage in a meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect the students, staff, faculty, alumni, and friends, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish is for the pursuit of truth to the greater glory of you and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. Okay, if the clerk could take the call, please, or the deputy clerk.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, Councilman Blevins,
Here.
Councilman Lawley,
Here.
Councilman Lloyd,
Here.
Mayor McLeod,
Here.
Councilman Schlack,
Here.
Councilwoman Syke,
Here.
Councilman Valerius.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Schlack,
Second.
second by Lally. Okay, we had a discussion at the work session. We're going to slightly amend Resolution 3 to include the statement that the grant covers acquisition of adjoining vacant lot at 17044 Keppen. That is on a document that we received later today. We have roll call vote to approve the agenda as amended.
Okay, again, we're going to start with Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Councilman Lawley,
He's frozen.
Councilman Lawley,
He just,
Dropped out.
We left them.
I'll come back. Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes,
Councilman Schock,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
and Councilman Valerius.
Yes.
Okay. Unanimous. Well, we'll wait a second.
okay, he's there.
Thank goodness Tony is formally dressed all the time.
Mr. Lally.
Tony?
I think that he was in the garage. He doesn't have good connection out there, so I think he's inside.
Okay,
He's muted too.
Well, that's probably for the best. I know a couple of Italian swear words, so I don't.
so do I.
Oh, boy.
Tony, we just took a roll call vote on the agenda. We're going to move on to the minutes. You take yourself off of mute. You're on mute. Tony, you're muted.
He might not have us open yet.
Okay,
There he is. Okay.
There you are.
Now, do we want to come back and,
I moved back in the house because the connection outside wasn't very good.
Okay, well, we're moving on to the minutes now. And I have a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of November 10th.
Motion, Valerius.
Motion Valerius.
Second Blevins.
Second by Blevins. A lot of lips are moving here. Wave your hand around from now on. So we got a motion by Valerius, second by Blevins. Take the roll call for the approval of the minutes.
okey-doke. Lally,
Yes.
Lloyd,
Yes.
McLeod,
Yes,
Schlack,
Yes.
Syke,
Yes.
Valerius,
Yes.
and Blevins.
Yes.
Unanimous.
thank you. Moving on to organizational business, we'll have the city administrator give us his report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few updates here, and I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna pass and bring up a couple of the chiefs. Maybe Deb can bring up Chief Egan and Chief LaFawn while I do the report, and they're gonna give a little update on some things that are occurring in their with their two officers that they have. The Elm Road remains closed at Ecorse Creek by Thunderbolt. Wayne County still rebuilding that bridge. We are hearing some word now, and we're expecting to get some notification here shortly from Wayne County and Dan's Excavating that they will soon be opening up 2 lanes of traffic. That'll be on the north side of the roadway, but it'll be a 2-lane, two-way traffic. We're hearing that that's possibly going to occur at the end of next week. The downside of this project now is with the issues that DTE had with their vault being in the way. Dan's will not be back until March to finish this project. That is a negative, but in the positive side, we will have traffic being able to get through that area back to Thunderbolt and into the Melvindale and Outer Drive area again. So some positives with that negative. Meyer Avenue, the contractor's working on the restoration this week. Unfortunately, sod may not be installed until the spring just because it's a lack of availability at this point in time. But my understanding from talking to Tom earlier that Vince is still trying to track some sod down out of the Ohio area where they're still able to cut the sod. So we're still hopeful, but it's not looking too promising at this point. DPS facility project update from Bob Katie was the brick contractor has about half the brick up around that is part of the 8-foot wall, the finished wall on the outside. Remember, we're going up 8 feet with block and then metal skirting all the way up to the roof. Once that brickwork is completed, the side panels will be installed. They do have a few panels already installed. They are about halfway on the brick. I tried to send some pictures over, and Bob has some more, so I'm going to probably scour the pictures he's posted and try to send out a few more that give a little bit more detail. The concrete blocks for the salt dome have already been placed, and they are now working on the construction of the steel structure for the salt dome. This is the span, clear span type product, and then it has a fabric covering that goes over that. That serves as the roof, and that'll be installed next week. So it's a pretty mammoth salt dome, and a nice feature on that is it's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper to replace this fabric in the future as opposed to a shingled roof on the current type salt dome, the TP structure that we have in the old facility. The GV subcontractor Bohr Brothers, they started doing the boring for the water and sewer lines. I believe that they already have that done. They were within 1% of where they were supposed to be, which is phenomenal. It does make me a little question what was going on over with Dan's excavating on the in Thunderbolt area. Similar conditions, and yet Bohr Brothers seem to nail it pretty good. So, and they are top notch when it comes to doing the lead services as well for us. And then DT Energy was there yesterday at the site to install a new pole that's part of the new 3-phase service for the facility. I was able to go over there with Bob and Tom, and we took a walk through the facility. Thankfully, I grabbed an extra pair of, I brought my boots with me, or I would have left the trail of mud like Bob usually leaves around here. He claims he doesn't. We know where Bob's been and where he's going. It's kind of like crumbs through the building as he walks through, but he claims it's not him. He's trying to blame Jack DeRocher, our part-time ordinance officer today, so I'm not too sure about this. GV is, they're also working on the finished grade inside the building so the concrete can be poured in early December. Again, it's a mammoth, when you're standing in the middle, this is a mammoth building. This is going to definitely serve the needs of the DPS for years to come. I want to just acknowledge an employee reaching a milestone with years of service with the city, and that's going to be Karen Albert. She's the secretary, administrative assistant to the police chief and the fire chief, and she has 10 years of service. I believe that's 10 years of service full-time, because I think she actually was here longer in a part-time role, but she'll hit the 10 years on as full-time staff on November 29th. So we want to congratulate her and thank her for her years of service with the city. I'm going to skip over the next portion of my portion because of what I've sent to you already, because I'm going to leave that to Chief Egan and Chief LaFond and their employees. To accommodate the audit presentation by Plant Moran, the study session on December 8th will be starting at 5:15. I'll probably get into the room a little bit early, probably about 5 o'clock. I know everybody likes to kind of greet everybody, talk a little bit, find out that people like snow and that some people don't like snow, as we found out earlier. But I'll get in there about 5:15 so we can start right on time at 5:15. Or I'll be in there about 5 o'clock. We'll start at 5:15, and we're going to get that information to you ahead of time. The plan was to have it out probably by Friday. It could be a Thursday evening, though. Whenever we get that, we'll get it over to you. And that is going to be in electronic format. The paper format, the copies that we sometimes have that some people like to have, those are going to be delayed a few more days until closer to council meeting day itself. But we'll have the electronic version for you. The request for proposals for the solid waste recycling and composting collection will be released tomorrow, and bids will be due January 14th, 2021. Sometime here in the couple meetings here, I'll be asking for authorization to provide advanced disposal with their 90-day notice that to cease the current contract. They will be able to bid on the project, but the issues we've had are just compounded over the course of time, more so with bulk pickup. is that just continues to be a bit of an issue for them and for us, a lot for us. City Hall will be closed for the holidays. We're going to be closed this Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving, and then we'll be closed Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day at the end of the month. And then something real positive, I think, coming out, and we need some positives as we go through here. I got an email and talked to Mayor McLeod about this, and we said it would be okay to set up a mailbox for letters of Santa. We're going to put that in the outside vestibule, so people don't have to come into City Hall. They'll be able to get to it at 24 hours. And this is going to be through the Allen Park High School National Honor Society. So it's awesome to see the young adults getting involved. And I told the young lady I'm dealing with Rachel. I don't want to say her last name. I don't want to butcher it. Councilman Lloyd probably knows who she is and say it properly. I think it's Asterbury. So they're going to have a box in the lobby there. They don't have a metal mailbox or a wooden mailbox, so they've used a container, but they've decorated it real nice. I think it'll be a nice addition out there, and they'll be able to drop off the letters in our lobby, and then they'll get a return letter back to the children. The deadline will be the 14th, and I believe they're going to start on the Monday the 30th or thereabouts. Maybe as soon as we know more, we'll be able to post that and announce it. But very good to see that these young adults taking this kind of action. We do really appreciate it. I'm going to yield over to, let's start with Chief Egan, because he's in.
Morning, Mayor and Council. Good evening. Yeah, I definitely want to echo Karen Albert, 10 years. She's a phenomenal employee, and I really appreciate the work she does. A lot of the stuff she does, besides payroll and all that important stuff that gets paid, but helping us with Shop on the Cop and some of our fundraisers and things like that. Councilman Lloyd, just so you know, we're going to try and do instead of having our Shop with the Cop this year, Karen's getting gift cards, and we're going to try once we can get the 15, 16 kids and actually deliver them. Maybe even with the Santa Claus to their house. If they don't want anything publicized, we want it. But yeah, what we're talking about today, Sergeant Phelps, our administrative sergeant, just completed Eastern Michigan's Police Staff and Command. It's a 350-hour, 18-credit college-level program. And his research project that he did was actually a intern/cadet jailer program that would not only lower liability for the city, as far as having someone always back in our jail, but give us an opportunity to let young people maybe going through school and colleges to kind of take a look at our police department. We get a chance to see them and hopefully develop some good opportunities for new employees. So that was the project he did. I think it's a great idea, a great project. I'm hoping to get through that. It's a great program. Normally it's about 9 months. It was about a little over 10 months because of the COVID, and they had some problems they had to work through. I got to evaluate one of the days worth of projects. So I got to see Sergeant Phelps, that it was a very professional project. He scored in the A band of the class, and I was real proud of him. He did a great job for our department. I also got to see Sergeant McLaren from the fire department. He ended up doing his project during the police section week, and his was phenomenal too. I'll let the chief talk about that. But one thing I just want to say is it's a great opportunity. And like our city administrator and Mayor and council, continual education I think is real as important. So Sergeant Phelps to be able to wear his green and white pin with some of his awards like Officer of the Year and other things that he has. And it's a great chance for us to continue developing our employees as well as just learning the important things that we need to know to operate as a police department in this environment, such as Act 312, Elliott Larson Acts, American with Disabilities, hiring and discipline, and all those things that are evolving constantly. It goes through all that, as well as leadership and teaching your employees how to work together as a team. And Sergeant Phelps did a great job, as well as Sergeant McLaren. I got to see that. So I'll pass it off to the fire chief unless you have any questions.
Good evening, everybody. I guess if you don't have any questions for Chief Egan. I'm gonna, of course, my little speech, it reiterates a lot of what he already said. We're very proud of Sergeant McLaurin over at the fire department. We've had a long history in the staffing command. We've been sending employees there since the very first class back in the day. One thing that is new nowadays, because of Mr. Kibbe and his great support for education, we try to send somebody every year now. Back in the old days, it was when you made chief, you got to go to staff and command, and that was really the only guy in the department that got it. But Mr. Kibbe is very proactive when it comes to education, so now we're sending in somebody every year, which is great. As mentioned, EMU has the premier executive officer police and fire program in the state of Michigan. That the grueling 9 months and over 360 hours. Went through it myself when I was a new chief, and it really takes its toll. Sergeant McLaurin did a great paper. He did it on the mechanical CPR devices that you guys allowed me to purchase about 6 or 8 months ago. And we went on his recommendation, actually, because his paper was done, his research was done long before, he actually presented the paper. So we took his recommendation, we bought the brand that his research showed was the best one on the market. It's already been very successful. We use it almost every day, unfortunately. This afternoon when Mr. Kibbe called me, actually, we had a CPR call come in while I was on the phone with him, and I had to abruptly end our phone call. But Sergeant McLaurin, as Chief Egan said, did do a great job. He actually got 198 points out of 200 on his paper. It was the highest in his class. And he came out of it with an A+ average now for those 16 credits at Eastern. And he can apply those if he desires to go back and finish his bachelor's degree there. He's got a heck of a start. So a big congratulations to him and all of our other members in the past that have graduated. Just recently last year, Lieutenant O'Reilly graduated from that program, and he recommended that we buy the power stretchers that we bought about a year ago or so for our ambulances. And we used to average about 4 back injuries a year from lifting patients in the back of ambulances. And since we've had those power stretchers, we've had 0 back injuries. So that they're already paying for themselves, because we all know what it costs when an employee goes off on work-related injury. So big congratulations to Sergeant Feltz and Sergeant McLaurin. And I just wanted real quick, since I have you guys give me the microphone, I want to plug our Toys for Tots program. We've kind of taken it over for the whole city this year because we're doing like a touch-free, hands-free approach to it. We got to put a tent up in front of the fire station, a little 10 by 10. We've got our collection boxes inside of there, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week. You can bring your donations up. No need to ring the bell. It's, like I said, touch-free. Walk in the little tent, put your we're using actually city recycling bins. So don't think you're throwing your toys away. They're just a really good bin to use. We've got them lined with plastic bags. So you put your donated toys inside of there, and then they'll be brought in every night. We seal the bags up. They'll be sealed up for a week to 10 days so that if there is any COVID contamination and so forth on there, it will die off before they're given to Toys for Tots for them to do their sorting. So we're trying to do it as good as we can to make sure that we don't pass any of the virus on to anybody else. We'll be collecting through January 1st. We always do that even after the holidays. They will save the toys to give to the kids next year. So I think that's about all. Just everybody out there, keep social distancing, wear your mask, wash your hands. As we all know, the cases are just off the hook lately of the COVID. We've had double-digit cases for almost 2 to 3 weeks in the city of Allen Park every day. Except for the last couple of days, it's actually took a little dip. So I don't know if everybody's paying attention and doing a better job or what they're doing, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because I think we only had 4 cases yesterday, and as of 2 or 3 days ago, we were having 14 to 16 cases a day. So I guess I'll get off my soapbox. And again, just congratulations to both sergeants and a great job. And we already have another sergeant signed up to go next year, Sergeant Hatta, and we have great high expectations that he'll do great too.
Yeah, we're looking at actually sending an officer for the first time this year who's part of our accreditation program, who's going to try and get pick up where Sergeant Feltz left off to put the dollars and cents to the programs to make it make sense for us. But I agree with the fire chief. Let's use common sense this Thanksgiving and do the right thing. I can tell you, I just lost my grandmother, and it's a horrible feeling when you can't go visit somebody when they're getting ready to pass. And I know the city clerk's mother just passed away, just left that viewing home. So it's a tough time. So we definitely don't want to increase anybody's chances, right? So have a good holiday and appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Egan. Thank you, Chief LaFawn. I can't say enough on the program, the Staff and Command program. I've been able to go until recently. They don't allow us to. They didn't allow anybody to come in there, but I've been able to go to the graduation for the in the past. I think it was the police department I went to, and it's almost like a who's who program. So as the chiefs both said, support for me being supportive of education, absolutely. But I appreciate mayor and council and your willingness to help fund those aspects, because I think everyone, as I sit here looking here, is a big advocate for education, and that makes our job a lot easier. And we'll continue to plug to get more in there. If we can get more people in there, we would. I think we've tried in the past. I think we had two when Chief Egan was in. I think it was Chief Egan and Lieutenant Soden at the same time. But getting two in is very rare. But we'll take what we can get, and we'll continue to go through there and put the people into the program. It almost becomes like I said, a who's who program when you look at who's gone through in the previous years and where they're at and what level they've attained. As Chief LaFawn and Chief Egan are examples of that program itself. So that is everything I have. If there's any question, I'll be happy to answer them though.
I had a quick question about the solid waste disposal, Mark. So has there been any improvement on the behalf of advanced disposal as far as large bulk pickup? I know that we had put we have somebody on that is operating those phones and taking those, but is it staying the same?
Yeah, I do. I should say that they've gotten a little bit better. Unfortunately, sometimes a little too late in this issue. So Bob Graham is our contact, and he handles the list from the city perspective. If the people call him, he translates that information over to Advance, and then people can still call Advance. Sometimes they're still having a trouble with the Advance process though. But they have brought on board a young lady by the name of Stephanie. And she is phenomenal. She has been right on top of it. I don't have Tom in here right now, but Tom would say the same. When we had issues over on Meyer Street, he called her 5 minutes later. She's got a truck there to take care of the problem right away. So we really do appreciate that. And any other issues we've had, she's been able to address them. Unfortunately, I think the timing is just a little bit late in the game. If they would have had this person, a year or two ago, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion. I'd probably be before you to say let's extend the contract for the 6th year, which is in the contract itself. It was a 5-year. It's a 5-year plus one, but we're just going to pass on the extension at this point in time.
I could just kind of piggyback. When you think about it, one of the reasons for improvement is that the city had to incur some additional expense by hiring Bob Graham, providing him with a mobile phone. And, it's for the benefit of our residents and that's fine. But when you've contracted to have a company do that for you, you shouldn't have to be hiring extra to have the job being done. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've made some other changes at their mid-level management site as well. I sent the information out to you, but with Waste Management, they're going to be a subsidiary of Waste Management. I'm kind of curious. I was talking to Bob Katie and Tom Murray and Amanda. What's going to happen when we go see the bids come in? Will Advance be able to bid on their own, or will Waste Management be the main bidder for that operation, or will they bid separate? And they're looking at some of the names. I'm very familiar with a couple of the names from previous years and previous communities. So it'll be anxious to see who shows up to do that process.
Yeah, I got my postcard today from Waste Management. Are there any other questions regarding the administrator's report? If not, can I have a motion to accept and file the report? Motion by Psych, I got a hand up, and seconded by
Danny, raise your hand.
Dan, okay. So we have motion by Syke, second by Lloyd to accept and file the administrator's report. Clerk, take the call, please.
Okay, we're going to start with Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes,
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
and Councilman Lally.
Yes.
We have a unanimous.
okay. The second item under organizational business is the appointment of the 2021 Board of Review, which is Kenneth Lieber, Timothy Oneill, and Paul Endres. And I think I'm not sure if we went through this last year. This may be a little earlier this year. I think it was later last year. These recommendations actually come to us from Christine Johns, our deputy assessor. These are for a one-year term. These gentlemen have all been serving on this board for quite some period of time. The pay per hour has been this amount of pay. I asked Christine as far as back as she can remember, so there's no change in that pay rate. It's the same as it was last year, and probably the year before and 10 years ago. So per the city charter, we are appointing these three gentlemen to the Board of Review for the calendar year 2021. And have a motion to approve the appointments.
I make the motion, Mayor.
Mr. Lally has.
Second, Blevins.
Second by Blevins. Take the call, please.
Okey-doke. Mayor McLeod,
Yes,
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Councilman Lally,
Yes.
and Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
Unanimous.
thank you. And now we come to public comments. So if there's anyone in attendance who would like to comment, you have 4 minutes, and we simply want to have your name and the street on which you live. We do not want to have the actual address, however.
Mayor, if they would just raise their hand, I'll be able to allow them to speak there.
Right.
Everybody speak at one time.
Not you. It's not your time.
I'm not seeing anybody raise their hands.
All right, then, if there's no one wanting to make public comment, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Tonight, we have purchasing actions, claims and accounts, and the payroll report, and license and permits for a curbside pickup permit for Mr. Gregory Hendrickson of Fab 5 Hauling and Scrapping. And I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Valerius.
Second.
Second by Lally. Take the call, please.
Okay, Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Councilman Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
We have another unanimous.
Okay. Before we move on to the resolutions, I just wanted to make a comment to the public regarding licensing permits. We have started to post on the city's website any permit that is approved by council. If you have someone coming through your neighborhood that doesn't have a badge or isn't displaying a license from the city, and you have a question as to whether or not they're permitted to be there, please look at the city's website. I just saw something last week about Kirby Vacuum going door to door. We have not approved any license for Kirby Vacuum. So they are not permitted to be going door to door within our city. Just so everyone's aware, I just wanted to highlight that again, since we just started doing that on the website. Move on to resolutions, and resolution 1 is a resolution to authorize the city of Allen Park to extend the contract with HydroCore until January 1, 2022 for $77,208 to do our commercial and residential cross connection program and to waive the city bid process as there is no economic benefit. I'll take a motion and a second, please.
Motion, Lloyd.
Motion by Lloyd,
Second, Lally.
second by Lally. Okay, are there questions?
I just a quick question for Mr. Murray. So Mr. Murray, can you just explain real quickly why this is, there's no economic advantage for this, if you wouldn't mind?
So 3 years ago, when we put it out to bid originally, they were the only company to put in for that. I reached out to other surrounding communities to find out how their bids went, because about that time is when Eagle started requiring us to do residential. And the same thing happened to everyone else. Is HydroCorp was the only one that would come in the Wayne County area and do this. Other cities, what they have done, typically it's Oakland County, not so much Wayne County, is they have big enough staff. They get some of their staff certified by the state to do this, and then that's what they do. We do not have the staffing levels to do such. This 1-year extension was built into the 3-year original contract, actually with a 3% increase. They extended due to COVID reasons and asked us if we would take it for the same price we've been paying. So we do not feel that there is anyone else qualified or at any other rate of pay to do this type of work for us.
Thank you.
If I can jump in, I was going to, Councilman, you asked Tom on that, it was perfect on that. I would have jumped in and just said, I'm not too sure I like the term, there is no economic benefit. It doesn't seem to fit this particular situation, but I know it's language that the clerk normally uses on this type of request. I'm certain it's just, the wording is just not precise for this example.
There's not something cheaper or another competitor out there.
No,
Yeah.
at this time, no.
Right.
And when I took a look at it, this question came about earlier, and I took a look back, it was almost 10 years ago. Hydro, they were a different company at that time. They were the only game in town. They actually replaced, when I was in Gibraltar, they replaced Wayne County, who was probably 2.5 times the cost. At the time, they were really looking to get out of that business. And we ended up teaming up at that time with Woodhaven and Flat Rock on that. Tom has looked in here with piggyback on other contracts in previous years with Lincoln Park and so forth. So, it's one of those where one has gone out many times, or one time, and there's just nobody else out there at this point in time.
There's no other questions. Will you take the roll call vote, please?
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Councilman Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
We have it unanimous.
Okay. Moving on to resolution 2, to enter into a contract with Fishbeck Engineering Services to complete a wet weather study for the city of Allen Park for fiscal year 2021 in the amount of $95,000 and fiscal year 21-22 in the amount of $190,000. These funds would come from the Capital Outlay Sewers Fund. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Syke,
Second, Lloyd.
second by Lloyd. Questions, discussion? Perhaps if Mr. Murray could just give some brief comments as he did during the work session.
Sure. This study is for the city of Allen Park to determine the amount of excessive flows from rainstorms, leaching, and other areas into the sanitary system that makes it to the DUA wastewater treatment plant. To determine the quantity that we actually do in the flows. Currently, the DUA formula they use is just a mathematical formula to determine the amount we're to be charged per month, per year on a fixed cost. We feel that it is incorrect due to it is higher than the amount of actual sanitary usage that we use per month from our water sales. We have to do this study to prove that we are overpaying to at least get this taken care of and possibly reduce our rates for the future. The second part to this study is to find out and determine how well our piping system and sanitary pumping system is adequate for especially the rainstorms we've been receiving approximately every 4 to 5 years, if there's anything else we can do to prevent these problems.
And this study requires that we have 1 full year of data, which
Yes,
is
it
why
does
it
require.
overlaps in the 2
Yes.
fiscal years.
We need rainy seasons, dry seasons, winter seasons. You want to know what your system's doing in all types of environment.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, if we can take the roll call vote, please.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Councilman Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes,
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
unanimous.
thank you. Resolution 3 is a resolution to apply for the FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant to acquire and to demolish the house at 17070 Keppen Avenue. The grant covers the acquisition of adjoining vacant lot at 17044 Keppen. I have a motion.
Motion, Valerius.
Motion by Valerius,
Second.
second by Schlack. Questions or comments? Hearing none, could we take the roll call vote?
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Councilman Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes,
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
it is unanimous.
thank you. Now we move on to council comments, and tonight our leadoff hitter is Mr. Schlack.
Oh, well, I'll just be quick. I don't have anything really too prepared. I want to say, stay safe, stay healthy, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And for those users that use Zoom, I heard that Zoom will be free on Thanksgiving with extended periods of time. So you could be able to talk to your grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever that you want to talk to that you're unable to meet with in person without having to worry about Zoom timing out on you. So I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the company that you can with those that you are with. And if you're not, know that it's for the benefit of everyone so we can all celebrate Thanksgiving with our loved ones next year. Other than that, I will see you all in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Next is Mr. Blevins.
First off, I want to thank you, Joe, for answering my question the other day on phone. Really helped. Great job to our historical commission and DPS on decorating the historical house. They are working on a virtual lighted tree video. Also, if you haven't seen them yet, they're selling for $10 these Christmas ornaments, and you got the snowflake circle one, and then they also have a Christmas tree one, and that money's to go to for the historical house. Drove by and the pictures for the DPS building, it's looking great. Can't wait for the finish results. Some history with the Pledge of Allegiance. I think the last time I said it by myself was like 18 years ago at Oneill Elementary. And I wanted to make sure, because at Arno they have, like, after they have their school pledge of like, I have faith in myself, I can and I will learn today, I will do the best I can. And that's in the back of my mind. So just memories and history. And I don't know if they still do that. But I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and please make sure to keep social distance, and we are still in a pandemic. This month is also Diabetes Awareness Month. Someone who is type 2, it's something that if you don't check, make sure you always check your blood sugar levels when you go to see the doctor and stuff, just to keep up to date with all that. And then, as always, make sure you're wearing a mask and stay safe. And I yield. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Tony, Mr. Lally.
Hi, how you doing? Glad everybody's here today. I don't have much to say really, but I just want to thank everyone for participating in a parade that, not a parade, we didn't have a parade, we did a
drive-by.
Drive-by with decorated trucks and the cars. That was nice. And we had a good time.
You did.
Thanks, Pat, and thanks the mayor for participating in it. That was very, very nice. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe and be together with your family and take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Dan.
All right. I want to start off with a big thank you to our Deputy City Clerk, Jim Gross. Jim is one of the unsung heroes of Allen Park City Hall, one of the most dedicated citizens that I've known. Jim and his wife babysat me when I was still in kindergarten, so I've known him a very long time. And I really appreciate not just what he's done tonight. Obviously, Clerk Mizzy suffered a loss, and our hearts are all with him. But very, very appreciative of Mr. Gross filling in and helping us make sure that we didn't skip a beat. So thank you. Next, and this is kind of actually is for everybody in the city, but I'm also kind of specifically for my fellow electeds and my fellow members of council here. I think that at the beginning of this school year, the mayor shared some information about some steps that the Allen Park Public Schools was making to facilitate conversations within our school community about racial awareness and equity. And that's really, it's a bigger question than really just race. It's really a question of diversity and inclusiveness in general within our schools. And something that I don't need to tell the people in this chat this is that really the schools do not exist as a microcosm separated off from the city. We are one community. And actually we are connected with our surrounding communities. And these are important conversations. I think that there's a lot of eager young people that are taking part of this. We are looking for members. I just talked to the two people that are chairing the entire thing, Michael Harris and Sarah Zalay, two Allen Park residents and APHS alumni. Something that they are really eager to do is to have be valued community partners. So I would, if anybody would be interested in joining that conversation, I think that it would be appreciated because it really is, this is one community, and I think that everybody is working and striving to make it a better place. So if you are interested in that, reach out to me individually. I'd be more than happy to put you in contact with the right people and get you involved. But yeah, it's very encouraging, and I think, Mark, I think you said her name correctly, Rachel Atterbury. I'm pretty sure. I've never had her as a student, but I'll double check. It is encouraging to see these young people that are making steps to try to make this, continue to make this a great place to live. And it's exciting. I hope to see, maybe one day when I'm, an old man, I can come and do city comments to these young people that are on city council. It's exciting. Final thing, and again, just echoing the comments of my colleagues, but kind of something that is really encouraging and something that we didn't have 3 months ago. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there. We've had some very encouraging news about vaccines, and I know that that's still going to take a long time to get to a point where we can distribute it to enough people that's going to make an impact that we can get back to some semblance of normal. But it's there. Okay, we have 2 vaccines, I think, that are 95% effective or somewhere around there. We just had a third that was, I think, 70% effective, but was cheaper and easier to transport. So I think the really thing that we need to focus on, along with, the things that we have been doing, is that we just need to keep doing this for a couple more months. If we can do this for a couple more months and we can get the vulnerable members of our society vaccinated, then we can get to the other side of this. So, I mean, it's cliche, but it's cliche for a reason. It's always darkest before dawn. We are going through a very difficult time. Winter is going to be very difficult to quarantine and isolate. So I just really want to encourage everybody to keep hope and keep your eyes on the future of being on the other side of this pandemic. And it'll feel good to get to the other side of this pandemic with all of our loved ones that we still have with us on the other side. So stay strong. Take care of yourself. Reach out if you need help. Okay, if you have like a medical issue or a medical concern, still seek medical assistance. Do not avoid it because you're afraid of going to the hospital or things like that. That's very, very important. We will get through this, together apart. All right, we're in this together apart. So everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Dan. Pam.
All right. First thing is I've already gotten my ornament from the historical house, from the historical commission. You can pick them up from town hall, and I believe you can pick them up at Parks and Rec too, if you'd like. They're $10. Great. They're a really fantastic looking ornament. It has a picture that was drawn by an Allen Park resident of the house on the front of it. They're very nice. And then I guess I would just like to say thank you for attending and watching our Zoom meeting here, and that when Thanksgiving rolls around in a few days, be grateful that you're sitting with your family and that you're able to share in whatever way possible. If that's through a Zoom meeting or them being in part of your bubble. Happy Thanksgiving. That's it. I yield.
Matthew?
All right, I didn't write a poem or anything, but I found something that I wrote. I don't even know how long ago it was. And I read it and I was just like, with a couple little changes to it, some revised work as an English teacher.
Council meeting. Are you on?
I figured that being barked at. I figured I could share it, like I said, with a couple English teacher type revisions and some stuff to make it more modern. Because if I had to guess, I think I probably wrote this, had to be probably well over 10 odd years ago. So like I said, I'll just read it, go through it really quick. But it is focused on Thanksgiving, which, we are all going to celebrate this Thursday. So it says, Thanksgiving. The word alone instills in all of us a sense of family. Sure, it is a holiday centered on food, yet it is also a holiday where we would normally gather together with friends and relatives, share stories, laugh about good times, shed a tear or two about the bad, and rejoice that we can share in these special occasions. This year we make sacrifices to celebrate and give thanks on a smaller scale with the hope of the return to a larger scale in the future. Maybe take the time to connect with loved ones in a Zoom meeting, as Gary mentioned. Thanksgiving, a day in which we give thanks for everything we have. We sit at a table surrounded by our family and give thanks not only for the food that we will eat, but to everyone who had a part in our ability to sit at that table. We thank God for the gift of eternal life, a life that will allow us to share times like these with people past and present. We thank our Lord for his sacrifice. I know that I am thankful for all that I have. I have a beautiful wife who for the last 26 years has also been my best friend. I have a son who every day reminds me of the innocence of youth and the miracle of life itself. To look into his eyes, one can see the joy and the hope of the future. I am thankful for my family and all that they have given me. My mom and dad, the gift of life. My brothers and sisters, the love of a sibling and the guidance one can only obtain from them. I am thankful that I have a job that I truly love. I love to teach, and I thank God for the opportunity to do so. I'm thankful for my students, for their time, their energy, and their commitment. They may not realize it, but I learn as much from them as they learn from me. For that, I am thankful. This Thanksgiving, let us realize the importance of all that we have. Let us give thanks to all those who have touched our lives and made us who we are today. And most importantly, let us thank God, for he has given us everything that we have. And without him, we would have nothing to be thankful for. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the citizens of Allen Park. God bless my fellow council members, city administrators, all the workers of the city of Allen Park. And I wish for all of you a happy, joyous, safe Thanksgiving. I yield.
Thank you, Matthew. And this time I won't forget any others. Maureen is sat here because she has something very important to tell us. And I hope that we've been somewhat entertaining to her.
Well, taxes are going out tomorrow, so I know that puts a smile on everyone's faces. But considering the large number of cases of COVID that we have in the state of Michigan, I am asking our residents, our customers, our taxpayers to please rethink coming into City Hall in person. We have a blue drop box in the parking lot close to Ace Hardware. We open it several times during the day. We process anything that we receive in that box on a regular basis. And if you are concerned about whether or not we've received your payment, we ask that you give us a call and we can verify that we got it. If you need a receipt that is stamped, which is very important to some people, we will be more than happy to put one in the mail to you. If you just put a little note in the envelope that you place your check and tax bill in the drop box. We again are asking you to please stay home, stay safe, and utilize the many ways that you can pay our taxes here in the city without coming in person. And with that, happy Thanksgiving, and everybody please stay safe. Thank you.
Just to add, Maureen forgot that you can also sign up for automatic withdrawal of taxes. You get your tax bill well in advance. You know what's going to be taken out of your checking account. You don't have to worry whether it's gotten in the mail, whether it's been delivered. It's really nice and convenient. You just adjust your checkbook and you're good to go. And for those who don't have checking accounts, we encourage you to get either a money order, cashier's check, again, for your protection and for the protection of all of our employees. We want to get this over with as quickly as possible, and the harder we work at it, the better. So thank you, Maureen. Jim, I don't know if you had anything from the clerk's office that you wanted to add?
Just happy Thanksgiving to all, and it's been a joy.
Thank you.
Then I'll finish. I typed up a few things, and then Dan said something that triggered another thought in my mind. So this is probably not going to be as organized as I thought it was going to be, but everything will get out. Thanks to Charles for mentioning about the virtual tree lighting. I know that some members of the historical committee, I got a text from Nancy Nick. They're going to put together bits and pieces for a virtual tree lighting video, and that will be shared when it's all done. Also wanted to comment about all the homes that our residents have been decorating and lighting up. A lot of them much sooner than they used to, but to me it's proof that we are a very strong and resilient community, and we try to make the best of a situation and brighten up our community. Please continue to keep all of our frontline workers in your thoughts and prayers, not only those who work in healthcare, but those who work to keep us safe and secure, and who often must brave the elements and adverse conditions to keep us that way, our fire, police, and our DPS personnel. One of the things that has been mentioned and had crossed my mind, I forgot to write it down. You know, we talk about not being able to be with our larger family, as most of us usually get together with huge numbers at Thanksgiving and other holidays. And you look back and you think about all the holidays that we missed this year where we didn't get together with family. Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, go down the line. And then it occurred to me that there are hundreds and thousands of people throughout the world, mainly our military, who go through this all the time, not just during a pandemic. They're stationed away from their family. They're stationed away from their friends. They don't get to go home for Christmas, some of them for years. And so, again, I like to put things in perspective. So we're going through this, we've been going through it since March. But when you think about the military, those who served in wars that didn't go home for 4 or 5 years, this is nothing. This is something that should be very easy for us to get through when you consider what some of our fellow citizens have had to go through in the past. I am hopeful that in spite of everything we continue to face, that you and your families have much for which to be thankful this Thanksgiving, remembering that peace and happiness come from within. And looking back over the past months, I found that there are many things for which I am thankful. I am thankful for the residents who made children and adults happy with their Easter Bunny and bike parades. I am thankful for the graduation ceremonies, which, while different, were still held. I am thankful for the school food services staff, which continued to provide food to students and their families who were in need. For the chaplain corps for being there in time of need for our employees and residents. For Meals on Wheels, for Parks and Recreation, which continues to provide transportation service for medical appointments and food shopping, and even delivered library books. For all of the departments who found creative ways to deliver goods and services to our residents, the library being a prime example of that innovation. To all of our employees, many of whom in fact are on duty 24/7. Most of all, I am thankful to be living in a city where we seem to have an appreciation for one another and a willingness to help. I probably missed a few things that occurred, just acts of kindness. I think even just looking at Facebook the other day where somebody said, if anybody needs a Thanksgiving meal, people are providing. This is the heart. This is all from the heart. And this city has a huge heart. Thank all of you. I am sorry for those who have suffered a loss at this time of year or any time this year. It's been very, very difficult. Makes bad situations even worse. But I'm wishing you that you all have a blessed Thanksgiving, and may the days ahead be good to you and yours. And with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion, Blevins.
Motion Blevins.
Second, Lloyd.
Second by Lloyd. Take the roll call, please.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Lawley,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes.
Councilman Slack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
and Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
We have it's unanimous at 7:09.
7:09, we are adjourned. Everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
We got to get a
Thank you,
resolution
Danny.
to make Matt the official poet laureate of Allen Park. Get that on paper.
You guys have a nice Thanksgiving.
You guys
Bye-bye.
too. Happy
You too.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.